Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. This is Sippin' Tea with Nat and Z. I'm Nat.
And I'm Z.
What's up?
Not much. Just waiting. We are recording on a Sunday. This is our normal
Hmm.
recording day, and Insecure premieres tonight. But by the time you all hear
Oh.
this, it would have already probably been like 4, 5 episodes.
Episodes and just don't go DVR the stuff. You're going to be
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, that's what they was talking about. I get it.
Yes, it might be about 4 or 5 episodes in.
Fine.
So
Okay, okay. Hey, y'all, do I sound better? Do I sound better for y'all? Because let me tell you about our sound quality improvements. Okay. I fixed some stuff on my computer under the direction of Z. And
yes,
Z's like, wow.
so much better. It's like it's night and day. So I
Fabulous.
appreciate you for that.
Not a problem,
You know
darling.
I wear many hats.
Yes, yes,
I
yes,
work
she
for the
does.
CIA, the NSA.
FDA, all of them. All of them.
I do IT on the side.
That's her side hustle, y'all. You ain't know? You better ask somebody. Mm.
Oh gosh. Okay, so let's get into the tea of the day.
Mm-hmm.
We are not tea experts. Talk to your doctor when drinking herbal tea. Is there potential side effects? When mixed with some these medications, it should not be a substitute for medication, and we are not affiliated with any of these companies, nor are these endorsements. So, what we drinking this evening
All
or this
right.
day or whatever it is?
Yeah, on this Sunday.
Yes.
We drinking some apple pie chai. You know, it's fall. So we are falling into this. We know this is Z's favorite time of year. Favorite.
Favorite.
It's like the best fashion time actually, too.
I love the fall. Let me tell you,
Yes.
I've gotten, I'm
Yes.
not going nowhere, even though they trying to tell me we
Girl.
got to go into the office one
What?
day. Yeah, they going to try to get me. I mean, I was already on a 4 day,
Oh, okay.
um, 4 day telework schedule
Mm-hmm.
before COVID and one day in the office. So now
Mm.
that they're in the final phase of, having people come back into the building,
Mm-hmm.
they're saying that now I'm gonna have to start coming back in, which for one day for what? We're not meeting in person, so why you just
Right. You can't go in this. You can't go in the conference rooms.
girl? I'm just over
Mm.
it. So I for my one day though, I will be looking fabulous because I did get some nice stuff. H&M has a
Mm.
lot of nice
Really?
false are very muted. So it's not like well, they're already very muted, but
Ooh.
it's like very muted, like creams and blacks.
Layering. I hear layering.
Yes, yes, creams and blacks.
Mm.
Not a lot of colors. Gray.
Love it.
Just imagine Kanye and Kim's house. That's what H&M's looking like. Um,
Understood. Understood. I got me some new knee-high boots that actually fit my calf,
ooh,
and I wore them out when I was in Philly yesterday. And they go a little bit over my knee. You know,
ooh.
I'm a thickums, so I'm gonna have to send them to you because they were actually pretty, and they're flat. You know, I love a stiletto.
Where did you get
Yes.
them?
I have to go online and check because I'm not
Okay,
sure. Um, um, I'll go check the store
okay.
and send it to you because I got a black and a brown one,
Mm-hmm.
and they're so cute. They're kind of like lug bottoms, but not. But they're like crocodile, alligator type,
Ooh.
and right over the knee. So
Mm.
cute. I was so excited they fit
I
over my
need some over the knee
legs.
boots. I
Yes.
saw some the other day and I was like, ooh, I like these. And then I was like, ooh, but I don't like that price. So
That part right
yeah.
there. Yeah, I saw
I
some like the thigh ones that like all over Instagram now,
mm-hmm.
and I was like, wow, I'm not even gonna play myself.
Oh yeah, the thigh ones I'm in love with.
Yo, I
But
love those.
yes,
I
I don't
love.
know how they going.
I don't know. I saw the reviews, and some ladies that are thickums like myself, you know, they rocking. They ain't walking nowhere though, because you know once you start walking, them bad boys gonna start rolling down.
Girl, girl. But wait, so last night, my husband and I went out, and this is the first time I've worn heels, and I don't even know, maybe like forever.
Right.
And I had to learn how to walk. I felt like I don't know if you've seen the videos with Viola Davis that they were talking about how she be walking and how to get away with murder. That's how I was walking yesterday.
I just had the visual of that, and she like slightly bow legged, but not
Yes, with my purse. I'm
just
like, let's go.
clutched, clutched up. That is too funny. Oh yeah, yeah. So we actually were talking about tea, but
Yeah, we are. Sorry, got
so
sidetracked.
right, that's okay though, because we it's all about fall. So the
Yep.
apple pie chai, is hot spice chai tea, a splash of bourbon, which is always good. We here at Sippin' Tea with Nat and Z approve any such libations in tea
Mm-hmm.
um, concoctions, and 1.5 ounce apple pie Irish cream liqueur. So it's hot toddy esque. Z,
I'm
and
gonna
you
make one.
tried this, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna make another one tonight. I was
Mm.
looking at this for a while, and I was like, okay, this is definitely a fall drink. And so
Mm-hmm.
I went to the liquor store, and the guy gave me it. So there's Bailey's, and
I
that's
love
how I found
Bailey's.
it.
I love Bailey's.
So
I'm gonna go
he
drink some
told
tonight.
me, yes, I'll tell you as soon as I'm finished this, I'm making me one of these. But
Mm-hmm.
he told me that he didn't like the Bailey's apple pie Irish cream liqueur because he said it had like a metallic aftertaste. So
Oh.
he gave me another one to try, and it's good. But I feel like I may have personally liked the Bailey's a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to go back and try that once this one is done. I will say it's not sweet. So if you're
Oh.
looking for something sweet, it's not going to give you that sweetness unless you want to put some sugar. I'm talking about
Oh.
the drink itself,
Right, right, right.
the apple pie chai is not
Mm-hmm.
that sweet. You can also try if you don't have a spiced chai. I did a vanilla chai that was pretty good,
Ooh.
and I did a cinnamon apple spice tea
Oh, I
that
love
was really
cinnamon.
good. Yes. So if you don't have the hot spice chai, maybe that might give you a little,
Right.
zhuzh.
A little zhuzh. I'm gonna
zhuzh.
try. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try
Yeah,
all of
it's
them
very
actually.
delicious. It's very
Sounds
delicious.
it. I love me apple. Like what is that one at Starbucks? Is like caramel apple cider.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know what?
That.
Bitch, I'm gonna get that tomorrow
Yes,
morning. Thank you for.
girl. I had that earlier this week. I was at Safeway and I was like, "Oh, do y'all still make this? Because it's not on your menu." They were like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh yeah." When I tell you, I took a sip and I was in heaven. I said, "Is this life?" Because I used to drink them all the time. There's a ton of
Mm-hmm.
sugar in them. But if I can have one like maybe once every month, because every other month, because I'm trying to lose some weight. I done lost 20 pounds. So
Oh yes, girl.
since April though, since April, it's October. But I don't care because them numbers on them screen move, girls. I don't care. I'm gonna take them where I can get it. Celebrate your victories, everybody. Celebrate them, no matter how big or small. Celebrate them, okay?
Hey,
Okay.
but I don't. I mean, look, you know my struggles right now with
Mm-hmm.
having PCOS is just it's
I
insulin resistant,
do. I do.
and so because of the fact that it's insulin resistant, the insulin resistance kind is definitely difficult for me to lose weight. Like it has been
Mm-hmm.
it's been a struggle. It's been a disappointing struggle.
Yes.
It's had, impact on fertility for me. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just something that I'm been very mindful of. So yes, I have to also watch my sugar intake. So if
Mm-hmm.
I have it, that will be my treat.
Yes.
That might be my treat for the week.
Exactly. That's what mine was because I've been eating salads every day, twice a day.
Yeah. So
Me and
I,
that goat cheese.
girl.
Girl.
You know
Yes.
what? So let's just so our audience is aware, our producer is not with us this evening, which is
Right.
probably why
We keep going off and keep talking.
we all over the place this evening.
She gonna come back and be like, "What? What are y'all doing? Huh? What?"
Right. We don't have nobody to rein us in
No,
this
not at
evening.
all. Not at all. So just buckle up, y'all.
Like we ain't even tell y'all what the topic
Yes. Oh
of
gosh.
the
Yeah. Oh,
episode
it's
is.
it's called having a purpose-driven life, y'all. Just
Yes.
so y'all know. But this is part of our purpose. What we doing here today to help enlighten y'all on all of these things and tea and how good the caramel apple cider is and how fun fall is.
Yes.
That's what we're here for.
So let's get into some actual hot tea now.
Yes, yes, yes. What's going on?
Okay, so here's what we have for hot tea today.
Hmm.
Kanye West, he was on an episode of Drink Champs, and that ninja is crazy. he
Wait,
need to be on medication. He needs his medication. I think he was no, and all jokes aside, I think he was a bit manic,
uh huh.
and the things that he was saying was just a little. It was just a bit much. I'll just say that.
Mm.
So some of the takeaways that I've got from it is he definitely has real issues with Talib Kweli, which same.
What?
So that might be the only thing that he and I agree on.
Okay.
He does not. Him and Talib Kweli are not friends. Um,
Where is Talib anyway?
who knows? They kicked him off Twitter, so
Oh
I think
damn.
he's on what's that? Patron? Is that the
Oh,
paid for
Patron,
site? Yeah,
Patreon, not
yeah.
but Patron, Patreon, same thing. Same difference. Same difference. That ninja on Patron, that platform Patron.
He is,
Yeah.
but he might be the way he talks. He might be on some Patron too. So, he also said he trolled Jay Z by adding the baby to the song called "Jail Part 2." It's on his newest album,
Uh-huh.
and in Kanye's mind, I can see how he would think somebody would be pissed about that. But Jay Z doesn't strike me as somebody who gets upset over petty things. So I
Hmm.
don't know if that trolling fell flat or not.
It probably
Um,
did.
he called Jay Z selfish for not wanting to add the song Holy Grail to Watch the Throne, which, how's that selfish? If I'm working on my album at the same time we're working on an album together and I have a song that I want to stay on my album, how is that me being selfish?
And whose song was it?
It was so you know the song Holy Grail with Jay-Z and
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, yeah.
Kanye said he asked Jay-Z to put that on Watch the Throne and Jay-Z said no. And so Kanye called him selfish for
Isn't that
that.
his prerogative?
It is.
Okay,
But
just checking.
okay.
Just checking.
He called John Legend a sellout. He
What?
called
Mr.
Common,
Stevens?
yeah. He called Common a John Legend looking ass ninja, which is short for being light skinned, I guess.
I guess that's
Um,
undertones there.
yes. And we just did talk about colorism,
Colorism.
so here it
Hmm.
is. Um, they call him a sellout because they follow the Democratic Party. Um, he said Big Sean
Okay.
was the worst decision he's ever made in terms of signing him.
What?
Yes, and he walked over to like the side and picked up a tombstone that said R.I.P. And he's like, on my tombstone is going to say Big Sean was the worst decision I ever made.
What the hell?
I'm telling you, this was like 2 hours of nothing but pure madness, and I loved it. It was just trash. It was just trash. Um, he said that Just Blaze was a copycat of him because of Jay Z's Blueprint.
Hmm.
Now, sonically, if you listen to the album, The Blueprint, yes, it all has the same sound.
Right.
And I know that Kanye did some songs, Just Blaze did some songs, and there was another producer that was also on the album.
Hmm.
Jay Z responded to that and said that that is a little unfair because Jay Z said the assignment was bring me all soulful tracks.
Right.
So if I'm telling you to bring me a soulful track, 9 times out of 10, you're all going to sample a soul album or a soul song from
Pretty
somebody
much.
else,
Yes.
and you're going to bring it to me.
That's the nature of the business.
So how is that him being a copycat? And personally, I don't think Just Blaze and Kanye's music sound anything alike. I do say there are some songs that I'm like, I couldn't tell if it was a Kanye or Just Blaze, but I
Uh-huh.
think that that was in the beginning
Hmm.
of Kanye being a producer, not so much later on and when he
Right.
became a solo artist. So if you want to partake in some just crazy foolishness, he also said that him and Kim Kardashian, he wants her back.
Oh, he does?
And
What happened to the model chick that he's dating that looks like her?
that don't matter. He's mad that
Oh.
she out in the streets with Pete Davidson and he wants her back and he blames SNL and Hulu
Wait, what? Because she did such a good job on SNL?
because she took a shot at him being a failed politician and saying that she
Hmm.
was divorced. He said,
Womp
I ain't seen
womp.
no divorce papers. Sir,
They don't mean
I
they don't
saw the
exist.
divorce papers. Maybe you didn't.
Ain't she in law school too? So I'm sure she's making sure that, or trying to go to law school or something.
Well, she's not doing law school. She's doing this thing that you can do to get licensed where you um what you do is you apprentice for about 4 years
Oh,
and then you
okay.
take the baby bar before you take the big bar. And she failed the baby bar. And she may have
Okay.
failed the baby bar more than once, but I know she failed it at least once. So no, she's not licensed to practice yet.
Oh, okay. I know
Um
that's like her pursuit now. So
yes. And a good pursuit.
yes, it is. Go ahead, cause
So
get them coins. I guess she's following after her dad now.
right.
So good for
Um
her.
Unfortunately, This weekend there was a Astro World Festival in Houston where 8 people
Yeah,
died
saw
and
that.
dozens were injured. It was
Mm-hmm.
Travis Scott's Astro World. It was a 2 day festival. The remaining day is canceled. It was chaotic. I don't suggest you go and look it up if but if you want to, hey, proceed at your own
That's
peril or
very
risk.
sad.
Yes, because there are videos of
There's videos.
yes of
Oh
some of the
God.
things that were happening and seen. There was this one girl that was talking to the camera guy on stage and was like, "Yo, there is a person dead down here. You need to stop the show. Y'all need to get help. He is dead." And the camera guy was just like, "Bitch, get away.
Oh
Go.
my goodness.
You go." He was on. I know he was on stage saying, "Hey, somebody passed out down here in the front."
Right.
Um, and they didn't do anything. So it seems like there were measures trying to be taken to
Right.
keep these people safe, but nobody was listening. Everybody was just focused on a show must go on type of mood. So
Oh my gosh. And I heard the
yeah,
age ranges are vast.
yeah, yes,
Unfortunately.
yes. The
Unfortunately.
emergency response team drove through the crowd and didn't stop. Like there's just a whole bunch of stuff. There's just a whole bunch of stuff. And I personally never liked concerts like that.
Yeah, no.
Even in my 20s, I didn't like to go to standing room only concerts because you never know what could happen.
There's
A
nowhere to
fight could
go.
break out. Um, anything could happen. The
Did they
last,
say why they rushed the stage in the first place?
um,
Because I know it was a ripple effect.
it was, I don't know. Um, I think it was just they were excited that,
Um,
you know,
he was getting started because it was at the beginning.
yes. Mm-hmm.
So sad.
So yeah. I don't know. It's just, it was a lot. But like I said, uh, don't look at it, or if you do look at it at your own peril.
Right.
um the Harder They Fall has come out,
Mm-hmm.
and that is a very good movie. It is a B+ movie, and a plus with acting. It stars Idris Alba, Jonathan Major, Zazie Beetz, Regina King, um Lakeith Stanfield, Dion Cole, and Delroy Lindo. um Very good movie. Jonathan Majors is excellent in it. I think that he is going to be one of my new favorite actors because he is just awesome. He's so good. So I would suggest you all check it out. It's on Netflix. It has been in some theaters. I'm not sure where, but it is in some theaters. Um,
Today.
and then the last thing I have is Summer Walker. She came out with the album. Now, I'm not a Summer Walker fan, but she has on her album Sierra's Prayer. The prayer that everybody has been asking for. The prayer that she said to get Russell Wilson.
I keep hearing about.
She put that on her album, and let me tell you, it is a prayer. I would say go listen to the prayer if you're looking to bag you one. Just know that that prayer worked for Sierra. It may not work for you.
But there's hope.
There's
There's
hope.
hope.
And that is all the tea we have today. So we're gonna go in for a short break, and we'll be right back.
All right. So we're back. Title of the episode, as we mentioned earlier, is Having a Purpose Driven Life. So, what does that mean? What do you think adds meaning to your life and satisfaction to life? There's so many different viewpoints on how that's done. What is it that gives us a sense of purpose to get up in the morning? Like we said, we're here on this show. One of our purposes to help, enlighten y'all, give y'all a chuckle. And if you don't have a purpose, if there is a failure in that area, it can lead to feelings of emptiness, confusion. You following Instagram and feeling like your life ain't shit if you follow it that closely because
Mm,
you really don't feel like you have a purpose other than what you see in social media, and it causes discontent, unhappiness, and a lot of times depression. So you really have to think about what is it that you can do to look at what will fulfill you for a purpose driven life. And we can't just set obscure random goals. Like I know I wanted to lose weight and it's been since April. I know it's October, but you know what? I lost that weight. Okay.
yes, you did. Yes,
Okay.
you
Thank you.
did.
But I did work at it and I've been walking and stuff like that. So that was the goal that I set. And where do you have to dig down deep and discover what of your core values can give you the impetus to move forward to figure out what those goals could be to give you some purpose? And, what else? What is your belief system so that you can actually execute and finish those out and not just start it and not finish,
Exactly,
you
which is
know?
good because everybody needs to know, excuse me, how to cultivate purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the ways that you can cultivate purpose is to find and pursue. Okay, so I'm gonna stop and because you are giving me breathy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me pull back.
There you go.
Let me pull back. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I was not going for Tony Braxton. Y'all know that's how she talks sometimes, right? Hi, how are you?
So, see, this is why we need a producer because we just are not mature enough to do this on our own.
We need supervision.
We really do. So,
Am I less breathy?
yes, you are. So,
Fabulous.
okay, good. So, how to cultivate purpose?
Mm-hmm.
You need to find and pursue your passion. And I know sometimes it's easier said than done. This is still
Mm.
something that I'm kind of trying to figure out, like what really is my passion? What do I
Mm-hmm.
enjoy doing? There are things that I like to do, but I don't want to do them full time.
Right.
I don't want to do them to make a living. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to do it to make other people happy. But if but what you know, what we do know is that if you're passionate about what you're doing, you'll be able to
Mm.
accomplish better results.
So true.
And so whenever you spend time on accomplishing something that you're passionate about, it does add joy and a sense of fulfillment to your life. So you look at something that you're passionate about. Let's say you're passionate about, I don't know, interior design,
Mm-hmm.
right? Maybe when you do that, it gives you so much joy and fulfillment. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
You say to yourself, this is this is what it is. This is
Right.
my purpose. My purpose is to design spaces that give people the same
Mm-hmm.
type of joy that I receive by creating and cultivating
Yes.
this space for them.
Totally. I'm with you on that because that was definitely one of the impetus for why I started my company because of what you just said. Like
Mhm.
it in the process itself, I really do enjoy. And then when I see people enjoy their space, it just makes me that much more happy about, okay, this is something that I put my heart and soul into. Someone is benefiting and it's mutually beneficial, which is
Right.
great. I think I forget what the saying is, like if you follow your hobby or passion, you'll never work a day in your life or
If
something
you
to that
do what
effect.
you love, you
Do what
never
you
have to
love,
work.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Mhm.
yeah, and then that's definitely along that line. And then, but for you to get to that point, you have to figure out what's important to you. Like really stop and think what matters to you truly. And I know in the age of social media, there's an assignment of what everybody else thinks is important, and then
Mm.
sometimes that means maybe I should think that's important without really taking the time to sit and be like, wait, is it really important to me, or am I just following the crowd?
Right.
Am I not having any individual original thought, or am I just going with the gang? You know, and looking at, well, what do you enjoy doing? Do you enjoy spending time with your family, volunteering, helping those less fortunate? And standing up and being an advocate, and aligning yourself with a particular cause. And that gives you a drive to do certain things. But, think about those things.
Right. And if you, like Natalie said, if you like helping people, standing up, fighting for those without a voice, then maybe helping others is going to help you cultivate your purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can look at being of service to others
Mm-hmm.
and how that might bring purpose into your life. And doctors help,
Mm-hmm.
teachers help, but there are other ways that you can be of assistance to your friends, to your community, to your family.
Mm-hmm.
I saw recently through social media, and it was a news clip of this school. I can't remember right now where the school was,
Mm-hmm.
but the school, they had like fights every day for
Oh
23 days
yeah, I
straight.
saw that.
And these black fathers in the community
Mm.
decided to get together, and they called themselves Dad on Duty. And they would go up to the school, and I guess they would be there as a presence in the morning when the kids get there, and when the kids let out of school,
Mm.
or when the school lets out, so that there's a presence there, so they know somebody cares. And they
Mm-hmm.
were talking about how a lot of these kids probably don't have male
Figures.
figures, father figures in their life, and so it helps to, I guess, for them, it's giving them a sense of purpose, right?
Right.
They're helping others and they're giving back to the community. And then it shows the kids that there are people who actually care.
Care.
And they decided to try to see if they can, which they should, incorporate it and then take it, throughout the country and have
Mm.
different, factions of
Right.
dads on duty at these different schools.
I love that.
Because a lot of these places need it. And there could be a larger conversation about this is what we talk about when we talk about defund the police,
Right.
because a lot of these schools would bring police
Mm-hmm.
um
As those resource
presence
officers.
in, resource officers in, to deal
Mm-hmm.
with these things. And instead of going that route, the community got together and decided to help
Mm.
in a situation where they saw help was needed.
The
Yes,
village,
yes,
which is good. And the service to all mankind, as you know, Z and I are members of Alpha Kappa Alpha, and that is one of our mottos.
yes.
Service
Service
to
to
all
all mankind.
mankind.
Yes.
So, and also, now when you're serving people, you have to figure out and understand you have to focus on one thing at a time. So I took this training at work about multitasking, and the first thing they were like, "There's no such thing as
No,
multitasking."
there isn't. I learned
And
that.
yes, and I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" But I get it. You really have to realize that there is no such thing as multitasking when it comes to certain tasks. Like, of course, you're walking and chewing gum at the same time, but certain
Mm-hmm.
things where you need to execute and have a beginning, middle, and end. Because if you don't, it's been shown to increase your error rate and decrease your productivity time and time again. Because you can't focus. You start one thing and forget, and then you jump to something else. I know I'm definitely guilty of that.
I'm guilty of that
Oh
too.
my goodness! And somebody will shoot me, and it's hard at work because an email will come across, and you're like, "Oh wait, I was working on something," and it'll pop up, and you get totally sidetracked. So do your best to accomplish your best work before actually as you focus on one thing and complete it and then move on to the next or give yourself benchmarks that I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
do it to this point, put it away and then move on to the next item to help you
Exactly.
facilitate that.
Right. And I think, one of the things that also assists us with finding purpose or cultivating purpose
Mhm.
is ignoring the inner critic. We talk about that
That's
all the time.
hard.
We've talked about that in other episodes when we talk about, the imposter syndrome, right?
Mm.
A lot of us have it. That's our inner critic. We
Yeah.
think we're not good enough, or, who am I to do this?
Yes.
Who do I think I
Oh my
am?
goodness,
You know,
yes. We
there
had
are a
that
lot of,
conversation last night at dinner.
yeah, it's like you step out and decide to start your own business. Who do you think you are to come out and start
Right.
your own business?
And
And a lot of times it's us telling us that we cannot do it.
that is so
So
true.
you have to, it's a practice of mindfulness that you have
Mm.
to do. And when those critical inner thoughts start to pop up, they start to arise, you have to interrupt those negative thought patterns, and
Mhm.
maybe by interrupting them, put some positive thought patterns in there,
Right.
because if not, you're going to be arguing with yourself. You're going back and forth like, you can't do this. Yes, I can. No, you
Mhm.
say, I can do this. I am capable. This is my purpose. This is my
Mhm.
passion. I don't care how old you are. A lot of people say, well, I can't do that, I'm 65. I can't do that, I'm 70.
Mm.
Who's telling you you can't do
Right.
it?
Right. Or I'm gonna wait and do this until I get this done because I can't do X, Y, and Z right now.
Right.
Yeah. No. Mm-mm.
Now, if excuse me, if you're a good friend of mine and you are 62, you talk about something, I'm going to quit my job to be an actor. Now, I might talk about you, but I'm be like, live your life, boo. Maybe you could be on a Tyler Perry show.
That's probably where you. Yeah. That's. Hey, opportunities abound.
If you're the,
Opportunities abound.
so, I'm just saying, no, but honestly, don't let anybody tell you you can't do it, especially you.
Yes. You hear your be
Especially you.
careful what you talk about because you're talking to yourself.
Exactly.
You're listening. You're
Hello, good
always
morning.
listening,
Mhm.
you know? And then when you're listening to yourself that we're talking about, you have to look into having the courage to live a life of authenticity. Now, this particular comment I would say is extremely hard nowadays.
Oh, it is.
It
It
is
is.
a uphill battle because what is authentic out and about in this world nowadays is I'm not really sure,
No one
honestly.
knows.
There it's just it's elusive because between the filters, between who's on first and if we're authentically together but we're not together because I have a side whatever or I have this job over here because I don't know what I want to do this week. There's just too many outside, I think, influences that detract from you figuring out what is authenticity as you see it and how do you view yourself. It takes a lot of courage to even sit down and think about, well, what does that look like, and to step out instead of going with the crowd.
Mhm.
And it's a true act of self love and self care. Like we just talked about, talking to yourself and listening to yourself and
Mhm.
really taking the time to be like, you know what, I realize I'm worth it, and
Mhm.
trust your instincts and understand that there's going to be some vulnerabilities that come with that, but be okay with that and still move ahead anyway. Push through regardless. But
Yes.
it definitely is very liberating when you know you can embrace that part.
It is. I think, and I'm saying it is like I I know that, but I think the one person in my life that I see living their life, having living, what the hell, living their life authentically. I
Yes.
think my sister has done a very good job of that, and
Mm.
probably earlier than
Yeah.
most people would have thought. Like
Yeah.
my sister has always just been like, "This is me.
My
You love
sister's like that
me,
too.
or you leave me alone, and I
Mm-hmm.
really don't care."
Is it because
Like
we're first children? Because
I
my
think
sister is the same
so.
way.
I think you know what, that is a good
You know what I'm
point. I
saying?
think firstborns don't really get to live a life
Mm-mm.
of authenticity
Until we're
because we don't
grown.
have the right. We don't have the bandwidth.
Right.
And I think, our parents with firstborns try to shape what their child is going to
Mm-hmm.
be, and when they realize that's not going to work, then they just let this the second one just do
Do
whatever the
it.
hell they want to
And that
do.
is so true. Because I was like, my sister, you were allowed to do what? She's like, oh yeah, that's normal. I'm like, uh, I would have been locked up somewhere if I would have been able to do
Oh
that.
yeah, my sister definitely had more freedoms than
Mm-hmm.
I experienced, but
For sure.
she when she listens to this, she may think differently. Um but I don't care. It's my truth.
Right.
It's my truth. So,
That's what I think.
hello, good morning. but
Oh my
but
gosh.
speaking of family,
Mm-hmm.
I think having and trying to cultivate purpose in your life, it's good to prioritize family and friends, right?
Yeah.
When you're close to your family and friends, I think you can enhance life's meaning. But there's a caveat to that
Mm-hmm.
because there's some family that you
Mm.
don't need to be close to.
At all. And
And
it,
that will also
mm-mm.
help enhance life's meaning.
Yes. Yes. It's like tenfold.
Right.
Just because y'all
So,
related. You didn't get to pick
exactly.
that person or those
Right.
people.
Hello. But
Mm.
prioritize could mean where on the list do you see this person in your life
True. Very
when it
true.
comes to your family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
And, maybe if like, okay, for example, my friends are very important to me. My tribe is very important to me. So I prioritize my friends and make
Mm-hmm.
sure that that I'm a good friend because there is purpose in that, right?
Yeah.
There's purpose in being a good person to the people who you care about, the people who've seen you at your worst
Mm-hmm.
and seen you at your best. There's purpose in that. And I think that it's important. I think a lot of times when we do talk about purpose, people
Mm-hmm.
don't think put that part in the mix, right?
Right.
They put a lot of external things like purpose in work
That's true.
or purpose in trying to find my happiness in this. But we never sometimes
Mm.
think about, well, how is your purpose rooted or centered or grounded in your family and friends?
Right. And how it may manifest in day to day stuff, but you don't see it as that
Right.
because it's something that is wrote to you and you just do automatically. But there's still purpose in that.
Yes.
And then taking the time to even acknowledge that takes courage. You have to be courageous to continually push yourself to look at things from different angles. And while you're doing that, to make sure that you seek out new opportunities, explore and expose yourself to things that are not familiar, that they're not in your wheelhouse or
Mm,
your immediate boundaries of things,
mm-hmm.
just traveling or do whatever. Try new things, challenge your habits, figure out how to make something else new today. Take it like the other day, yesterday when I walked 4 miles yesterday, and I took a completely different route in my neighborhood, and I found all these different trails in my neighborhood. I was like, oh, this is so nice, and one with nature, and it was so quiet. It was like 7 and 6 o'clock in the morning, and it was so quiet and nice and relaxing. I was like, I think now I'm find a new way to get
Mm-hmm.
my time and my
Ah,
walk
mm-hmm.
in. You know what I mean? Because this is a different, more, just a little different change of
I
scenery.
see what you done there. I see
Yeah,
what
you
you done
see
there.
see what I did
Yeah,
there? You
yeah,
see what
yeah,
I
yeah,
did there?
yeah,
Right, right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
And it'll also help you overcome your limitations, because once you're being courageous enough to do something new one time, that means you can do it another time and another time and another time. And before you know it, you've exposed yourself and opened up yourself to many other opportunities,
Mm,
to that really give you different perspective on maybe this is what I want to do for my purpose, or these are
right.
things that can contribute to building my purpose and the depth of it.
Right. That's a good thing. I like that. And that makes me think about happiness, because we just talked about
Mhm.
happiness. And it makes me think of, sometimes you're going to be courageous, and you're going to take these roads, and it may not lead you to where you
Mhm.
thought it was going to be, or the outcome may not be what you thought it was going to be, but you
Yeah.
tried. And so you now know that that road is not the road to take, and
Mhm.
that's not going to lead you to your purpose. But it also helps to know that, you know, I think that's also a good way to kind of remember that purpose and happiness are not always interlinked. I think a
Yes.
lot of people think that once they find their purpose, then they will therefore be happy.
Right.
Or if they are happy, they therefore have found their purpose. And that
Mhm.
is not always the case.
Mm-mm.
There are times with purpose and happiness do go hand in hand. But a sense of living a meaningful life doesn't and isn't always dependent upon your happiness. And
Mhm.
a good example of that is something that I experienced, and something that a lot of people probably listening, if you have children, can experience. There's a
Mhm.
parenthood paradox. So, you can ask parents, and they've done studies where they've asked parents, um, are you happy that you had children?
Mhm.
And they say, yes, I'm very happy that I've had children. But then those parents who are living with said children,
My sister told me this the other day.
yes, they usually score very low on the measures of happiness.
Yes.
And it
Yes.
seems in some cases that raising children can decrease happiness but increase meaning.
We just had this conversation yesterday at the table at dinner. And even before that, my sister and I were talking. My sister lives in Saudi Arabia, so we've FaceTime each other quite a few times a week. And my my nephews kept bothering her. They're like, Auntie Nana, and my sister was like, go away. I'm in a meeting. And she literally walked in her office and shut the door in my nephew's face. I was like, Chrissy. She's like, I can't today. Mm-mm,
And that's how we
I can't.
like, there is and that is that those are real. And I think
Yeah.
if people were more um honest about that there is a
Yes.
paradox. There's so many things around parenthood that I feel like a lot of people were sold a bill of goods. Um
Mhm.
and not to say that it's not wonderful. I would never trade my experience for being a mother
Mhm.
in the world. But there are things that do come along with it, like the lack of sleep.
Mhm.
When you're
Never
dealing
get
with
a
this,
never
no.
get that again.
No, a three-nager like me. I have a 3-year-old who's going on 16, and she is a handful. I mean, there are things that you're just like, Jesus, take the wheel.
Y'all should hear what Charlie be saying sometimes. We and me, it's we like, really, Charlie? Okay.
Or just exactly, or just like, what is that TikTok video that we were sent today, where it was just like, who told Jesus
The no
that
weapons formed
no
against me.
against me shall prosper? Because these weapons that I got, they are prospering a little
Little
bit.
bit. That had me rolling.
They are
Best
prospering a
friend.
little bit. Um, And so, I think that is a good example of how your happiness and your
Mhm.
purpose isn't always interlinked. Another thing you can look at is if you look at revolutionaries, where we're looking at civil rights revolutionaries,
Mhm.
if you're looking at revolutionaries through the LGBTQ movement, wherever you see revolutionaries, they had to suffer a lot,
They did.
years of violence, sometimes years of discord for a larger purpose that ultimately can bring great satisfaction and meaning to to their lives and the lives of others. But
Mm.
that doesn't necessarily mean that they're happy.
Right. That martyrdom that some of them step into is no joke.
It's no joke. It's gotten people killed.
Yeah.
So that is another good example of how sometimes your happiness is not interlinked with your purpose and vice versa.
Right. And then when you're looking at that and trying to extricate that they're not linked, it helps to figure out, well, maybe I just need to simplify some things in my life.
Mm,
Decluttering and simplifying your life and being able to spend more time on the things that actually matter to you. Get you an organizer. Get you a planner. I'm good for a planner. Ooh.
mhm,
Now, do I
mhm.
stick to the planner? That's debatable. But I do love me a planner that I will get.
Intentions are good.
Yes, the intentions are good, but those type of activities helping you sit down and figure out what can I clear out to make my life easier. Now, I'm not saying you have to go full, OCD if that's what to help you organize, but there's ways to simplify your life and make work smarter, not harder,
Right,
essentially, so that you
right.
can get those things done and give you more time to focus on yourself, give yourself good vibes and talk about, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Don't talk yourself out of things because you're not distracted by 50, 11 things,
Hello. Mhm.
because we
And
all
that's
do
true.
that. We all do
And
that.
simplifying your life, it could lead you, like you said, to working on yourself and working on meaningful activities, which is a form of self-improvement, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think working on self-improvement, consistently working on self-improvement is definitely a way, a path to finding and cultivating purpose in your life. Use a lot of positive self-talk. I don't know how
Mm-hmm.
many of you have ever watched Being Mary Jane, but if you did, when it was on BET, she used to put post-it notes up
Yeah, they were
all
everywhere.
over everywhere. Some people should do that. Sometimes you need to have a post-it note to keep
Mm-hmm.
yourself focused on the positive and not the negative. Let's
Yes.
especially if you're venturing out on something new that's
Mm.
a little scary. It might be good to use that positive self-talk to
Mm-hmm.
say, hey, I said I was going to sell my house and use the proceeds for my house to travel the world,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to do that because I want to find my purpose, and then my purpose is not tied to this desk, it's not tied to this 9 to 5, but I'm not going to talk myself out of it. I can do it. I'm capable. I'm I
Mm-hmm.
have the drive, and I'm going to set out to do it. um this is a good one that I thought like, and I was like, really? And I was like, oh yeah, if you eat at least one meal mindfully. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
times we don't. We just scarf down our foods. We're busy,
I don't. I
hectic
eat slow as
lives.
hell.
But
And
a lot of us don't.
don't. It's true. It's
And
true.
you just rush through a meal, and then you don't even realize what you ate. You don't know what you put into your
Yes.
body. And I think sometimes if we just sit and just are mindful, we could take that
Mm-hmm.
time to really just decompress and think about what's going on around. Slow down.
Mm-hmm. And
Just
enjoy.
and enjoy.
Enjoy. Like I was telling
Enjoy.
you last night, that meal that we had, like we literally took a bite and we just sat there like, damn, this food is amazing.
Yes.
And it was, we all like just got quiet because we really enjoyed the food and the experience of eating mindfully. It is a
Right.
wonderful experience. And
It
also
is.
it helps with digestion too.
It
Too.
does. It
But,
absolutely does.
yeah.
Finding, working on self-improvement, this is a big one.
Mhm.
Forgiving yourself and others. We're going to have a
Oh.
podcast on episode on forgiving yourself,
Mhm.
because we've talked about forgiving others, but it's important to forgive yourself. There are a lot of people walking around who have not forgiven themselves for a whole lot of
Mm.
things, and that stuff is attached to
Yes.
shame and depression and
Mhm.
anxiety. And when you have those things, trust me, finding purpose is going to be very difficult because you're
Yes.
treading in murky water, and you're
Very
not
true.
going to be able to see the forest through the trees, and you're just going to feel like there is no purpose.
Mhm.
So one of the things you really need to do is forgive yourself and others. Don't necessarily have to forget what they did,
Right.
but you could forgive yourself
Mhm.
and forgive others. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. That is important. and cultivate gratitude. Another topic that we're going to talk about. Gratitude is important, and it's not always just giving thanks.
Mm-hmm.
But cultivating gratitude can help you be centered and grounded,
Yeah.
and that will lead you to a path of finding and cultivating your purpose.
So true. And it's important that you listen. As you're talking to yourself, listen to yourself and
Mm-hmm.
take it in.
Yes.
So what are some things or tools that we can utilize to help us attain this purpose driven life? So, as some of you may have heard of The Alchemist, it
Oh,
is
my
yeah.
girl, I will read that book. I've read that book probably now 10 times.
Wow. I'm starting it. I'm starting it.
Oh
Because
my God, that book is, oh, just don't even get me started. The Alchemist,
it's like
mm.
that. It's like that.
Yes.
So for those of you who don't know, it's by author Paulo Coelho. It's a masterpiece that tells a magical story of this individual named Santiago. He's an Andalusian shepherd who yearns to travel in search of a worldly treasure as extravagant that anybody can ever find. And the story of the treasures that he finds along the way is there to teach us, as many tales and storytelling things can about the essential wisdom of listening to our heart, and listening to what could really give us purpose to move forward, and learning to read omens strewn along life's path, like if you get signs about different things, and following your dreams. Like if you see things, you'll be like, okay, maybe that can, and kind of give me some insight on how to move forward with that next step of what it is I'm trying to seek. So just thinking about how do you actually compartmentalize certain things but still give yourself time to follow your dreams and take heed to your surroundings that help you
Yes.
along the way.
The Alchemist is definitely a book that I have recommended to other people and that I will continue to recommend
Mhm.
as a book that will definitely give you a deeper sense of of understanding self
Mhm.
and what it really means to live in your purpose. And sometimes the things that we chase are not the things that we need
Mm.
to really bring us the
Mm.
happiness
Say that
that
again.
we
Say that again.
love. I wish I could.
Mm. Y'all rewind it, okay?
but in all honesty, that is definitely one of those books that definitely changed me,
Mhm.
and just changed the way that I thought and that I just viewed things, and I definitely recommend it. Another thing, I mean, this is on the fence because depending on who how you feel about her,
Mhm.
Auntie Oprah, but Auntie Oprah's Super Soul Sunday
I
is
love
definitely
those.
something that I think is good for people who are trying to figure out, what it really means to have purpose.
Mhm.
Um, as you know, the Super Soul Sunday is a daytime series that is on the OWN network. It delivers insight and inspiration from a variety of renowned thought leaders. It
Mhm.
tries to and does awaken viewers to their best selves, and it helps them to discover a deeper connection to the world around them.
Mhm.
So definitely something that I think people, you could probably even go on YouTube if you don't have the of OWN to see if you can find some of these Super Soul Sunday episodes.
Right. And I will say for the Super Soul Sundays, it's just when you're listening to it, it's a program of ease to listen to, and it kind of just helps you kind of move along. It's not like they're preaching at you to do this, this, and this to find a purpose. The way they're talking about it, it's like you're walking through that thought process with them, and there's no judgment. It just gives you pause to be like, oh, I didn't think about it that way, without any criticism. Yeah,
Yes.
you know what I mean? So it's just something to contemplate. But then there's another one called the Designing Your Life Workbook, which is a framework for sorry, the Designing Your Life Workbook, which is the title is a framework for building life you can thrive in, and allows you to dig deeper into your curiosities, motivations, and skills, and help you design and define your goals as you track your progress. You know?
Right. That is definitely something that I looked and I saw on Amazon, and I said, "Oh, you know what? This is definitely something that I think I'm going to purchase to kind of
Hmm.
help me further along on my journey that I'm taking." I've another thing that I think we that I did not add that is good. A lot of people again on the fence. Jada Pinkett.
Mm-hmm.
Smith is definitely on this journey of healing and finding
Yeah,
purpose.
she is.
And I find that a lot of the things that she talks about, um, just her tapping into her divine energy and just, you know, really being able to do things to help her find her purpose and ground her, I
Mm-hmm.
think has been amazing. So that's something else to add on to it. Another person that I think is really good, is Tabitha Brown, and she has a book
Mm-hmm.
out called Feeding the Soul, because it's my business, finding our way to joy, love, and freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And I just ordered this book, so I'm waiting for it to come.
Ooh,
But
I have
she
to check it out.
shares, wisdom she gained from her own journey, showing readers how to make a life for themselves that is rooted in non-judgmental kindness and love, both for themselves and for others. And I look at her and her husband, and I remember there was some controversy a while back because she retired her husband. She got
Mm-hmm.
to a point that she was able to retire her husband, and I remember Wendy Williams came and was like, "Oh, don't do that," and she was like telling Wendy, like, "I hope you find the love
Mm.
that you deserve, because
Yeah,
I love my husband enough, and we've had conversations, and this was the plan all along." And her
right.
husband retired from the police force so that he could then go and actually do more work, or the work in the community.
Mm.
And that was his purpose.
Yeah,
And his wife's part of his wife's purpose was to be the woman that she is now, to allow her husband to do that.
right.
And I appreciate, her honesty and her transparency in that journey. So this is definitely a book that I'm looking forward to reading.
I'm excited. I'm gonna have to go order that. And I love how she talks to you and her voice is like, honey, this is what you need to do. It's very soothing to
Yes.
you, you know? And then another one is do one thing every day that centers you. A mindfulness journal from Robbie Rogue. It's a guide filled with advice and prompts for reflection, helping you appreciate your experiences that add meaning to your life. I think that's always important. If you can help folks feel like they're kind of like all over the place and they just need some guidance. Like when you're doing meditation, they need a guided meditation, not just telling you A, B, C, and D, but giving you some prompts to kind of make you think and help
Right.
usher you through that path that you're trying to figure out. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Which is
Um,
important.
yes, it is. It is important. One of the things I saw that I thought was good, they use this more for trying to. I see this used more with work
Mm-hmm.
and in the office, but I definitely think that this is something that you can employ in your life. Use an energy map.
Hmm.
It helps you take stock of the tasks that energize you and those that deplete you.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's something for transformative leaders, like helping people
Mm-hmm.
become better leaders. But I think that this is definitely something that you can do in your life, because if you use an energy map and you're able to visualize those things that deplete your energy, then maybe
Mm-hmm.
those are the things that you take out of your life. Like we said, simplify your life, remove them. Remove those items from your life.
For sure.
Yes,
And then when you figured out what the things you need to remove, it kind of opens up the pathway to create your own personal statement of how you see yourself and envision yourself moving forward, what your purpose can be, how you see yourself authentically, and what does that mean as far as being able to implement those thought patterns and processes and prompts and everything that you're putting together to give you a better idea of where you are and how to be authentic with that, you know?
yes. Um, and I think the last thing is the meditational retreat. If
Mm,
you can take a meditational retreat, I say take one. I
yeah.
think that this is a great tool to help you find purpose, cultivate purpose, get grounded, tap into your divine energy, find meaning
Mm-hmm.
in life. I say if you're doing a meditational retreat, this is definitely something you should probably do more by yourself,
Yeah.
so that you're not distracted. But if you have a good girlfriend that you think would also benefit from having, you know, um, time to really sit and meditate and think,
Mm-hmm.
I think that this is a great way to kind of center and focus and get to your
I'm
purpose.
trying to take one next year.
I would love to take one.
Yeah,
I've
I
been
think that's
looking up
great.
some, but I'm gonna wait until Charlie just gets a little bit older. But I,
Yeah.
I do anticipate. Actually, I said maybe for my 50th, to kind of go into the next
Ooh,
half of my
yes,
life,
yes,
a
yes, yes.
meditational retreat, just to kind of figure out what I want the next part of my life to
Mm-hmm.
kind of look like. Because I mean, come on, 50, we are on the down. The
Shoot.
down slope.
Speak for yourself, boo. I'm
Well, I'm
just getting
talking about
good.
I'm talking
Mm,
about with work.
fair
I'm
enough.
let me rephrase
Touche.
that. With work, we're on
Touche.
the down slope,
Yes,
right?
because we trying to figure out how we going to retire
Exactly. So I want to
ourselves.
yes. So I want to see what my retirement is going to look like.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes. I love that. I love that.
but let's take a quick break and we'll be right back with our last sip of the day. And we're back. This is the last sip of tea with your hood Dalai Lama. I am your hood Dalai Lama. So I don't have a quote today, and not because, of any other reason other than I forgot.
Hey, keeping it real.
So I will leave you with this. These are some questions that were adapted from Rick Warren's The Purpose Driven Life Journal. The Purpose Driven Life, yeah, that's it there,
Hmm.
right?
That's right. You're right. You're
Lord,
right.
okay. And so you should ask yourself these questions because maybe they will help and guide you in finding what your purpose is, or knowing that you have a purpose, how to really pull that out, right? Because we all have a purpose. We just don't know what it is. A lot of us just don't know what it is.
Mm,
So, knowing that you have a purpose, what areas of your personality, background, and appearance do you need to accept?
mm.
Second question: what problem in your life has caused the greatest growth?
That's a good one.
Third, are relationships the top priority in your life? What can you do to ensure that they are? And last question, since we know that our time in this world is temporary, how should that change the way we live today? So if you ask yourself those four questions and I'll post those questions, maybe that will help some of you, guide you to kind of really sitting down and trying to determine how to cultivate that purpose. Or if you know you have it, but you just don't know what it is, maybe this will lead you to that answer. And that is the last sip of tea with your Hood Dalai Lama.
All right. Thank you. And thank you all for joining us this week on Sip and Tea with Nat and Z. As you know, you can follow us on IG at Sip and Tea _ Nat and Z _ pod, and on Facebook, Sip and Tea, Nat and Z, to get information on upcoming podcast topics, guests, and news. And thank you again for listening, and catch us next episode where we get into gratitude. Have a good week, y'all.